Up there.
Wait for the front guy.
Wait for Christian. You ready? Queen's Park? We ready. Ready. Yep, okay. Thanks so much, folks. Christian, vous êtes prêts?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Merci beaucoup. Thanks so much. We are here in Danforth with our candidate, Minsuk Lee. We're really excited to win back this riding. This was the riding held by Jack Layton. This is an important riding to us. And the people of this riding have felt let down. Because, again, Liberals talk a good game during the election, but they don't deliver on what people need. People need, I just heard from someone who said that his cell phone bill is so high. And we know that Liberals haven't moved to lower the cost of cell phones, and they're not going to because they met with the telecom lobbyists over 550 times, and they're going to make sure that the prices remain high. They're not ready to bring down the prices the way we are going to impose a price cap. Make sure that there's unlimited data plans that are truly unlimited. We've heard from families that are worried about childcare. They're worried about the cost of medication. All these things. When it comes to pharmacare, 22 years of Liberal broken promises. When it comes to childcare, 26 years of broken promises. They don't deliver on pharmacare. They don't deliver on childcare. We're going to make sure we deliver for people. And then Conservatives, we know they cut services. And so Canadians need to know this. The people of Danforth need to know this. The people of Toronto need to know this. You are not stuck with two choices. No one owns your vote. You are free to choose what you want. Don't vote out of fear. Vote for hope. Vote for New Democrats. We're going to fight for you. We're on your side. Donc, dans cette élection, vous avez un choix. Vous ne devez pas choisir entre les conservateurs ou les libéraux. Vous pouvez choisir un gouvernement et un député qui peut travailler pour vous, qui va se battre pour vous. C'est nous les néo-démocrates. On sait que les libéraux, ils flashent à gauche pendant la campagne électorale, mais ils tournent à droite quand ils sont au gouvernement. Pour nous, on travaille pour vous. Pas pour les plus riches, mais pour vous. Et on est prêt de le faire. Thanks so much, and I'm ready to take your questions. Yes. Hi.
I just met a lady that you met as well. Based on Jack Layton, she worked really hard in this riding to win it. But she's concerned about what you said about the coalition and says that now she's worried that people will go and vote strategically because they don't want to see a coalition. But how do you convince people that if that were to happen, it's not a bad thing?
Well, what I say is that in Canada, our history is one where so many of the things that we're proud of happened when when people voted for more New Democrats. Our healthcare system was only possible because Tommy Douglas fought for it. The New Democrats and progressives fought for it. When we had changes to make sure that seniors could retire with dignity, pension and CPP, and old age security. These were things that were brought in because New Democrats were there. So I'm saying to you, I want to be your prime minister. But whatever Canadians vote for come the 21st of October, I want Canadians to win. And so I'm saying to win, if you vote for New Democrats, we will fight in whatever form the government takes, whatever power the people give us to make sure we deliver on the things that people need. Healthcare investments, pharmacare, dental care, making life more affordable, tackling cell phone companies, and making housing more affordable, and making sure we fight the climate crisis like we want to win it, and making the richest pay their fair share. We can do that, and we just need your help.
Do you kind of wish now that you might not have said it because now you become that target for Andrew Scheer?
No, not at all. I'm proud of the fact that I'm ready to fight conservatives no matter what, and however I can. I think Canadians want that. The majority of Canadians don't vote conservative. The majority of Canadians want a progressive government. I'm saying if you want one that delivers on real action, one that delivers on the investments that you need, the services that you need, the health care, the medication coverage, the dental care, the housing, and real action on climate crisis, meaning ending fossil fuel subsidies, New Democrats will deliver that for you. And we'll deliver it no matter what. And that's what I want to say to Canadians. We're not in it to win for ourselves. We're in it for Canadians to win. And whatever you give us, we will fight hard to make sure you get what you deserve. So don't settle for less. New Democrats have your back. Tu sais trop en français? Just the last part. Okay. OK. Non, pas du tout. Parce que on est fiers de le fait qu'on veut se battre contre les libéraux, mais contre les conservateurs. On veut se battre pour vous, en fait. Et on est fiers de le fait qu'on a déjà dit qu'on ne peut pas travailler avec les conservateurs parce qu'ils vont couper les services. Mais on sait aussi que les libéraux, ils n'ont pas livré la marchandise. Ils ont promis beaucoup, mais ils n'ont pas, en fait, ils ont brisé les promesses. Donc, ce que je dis, si vous voulez avoir des investissements pour l'assurance médicaments universelle, pour faire face à la crise climatique, c'est nous, les néo-démocrates, qui vont le faire. Yeah.
Kevin Gallagher is CTV National News. Mr. Singh, since Sunday, there has been a change in vocabulary from the Liberal leader. He's now asking Canadians to vote for progressive government. I notice you're saying progressive a lot too. Why do you think that Mr. Trudeau is asking Canadians to vote for a progressive government?
I hope he's encouraging people to vote for me because that's the real progressive alternative for people. We know that Mr. Trudeau is not willing to tax the richest Canadians. We put it to him, and people have asked him, would he be willing to put in place our wealth tax on the super wealthy? He hasn't said yes. And no other party is willing to say we're going to make sure that the richest Canadians, those who have fortunes of over $20 million, that they pay their fair share. Everyone else, Canadians, hardworking families, middle-class families, they're paying their fair share. They don't need to pay any more of the burden. We're not going to raise taxes on middle-class and working-class families. But we're asking the richest to pay their fair share. Mr. Trudeau's not willing to do that. So he's asking folks to vote progressive. That's voting for New Democrats. We're ready to take those votes. We got it.
I'll just take a follow, sorry.
Yeah. My man will get to you. Yes. We're going to make sure everyone gets a question. We stick around till everyone's done.
But clearly this is, it seems to be a distinction that Trudeau is trying to make. And obviously in 2015, there were many progressive voters that went and chose the Liberal Party. So what defines your type of progressive politics compared to a Liberal government, compared to even a Green government?
Sure. With the Liberals, they like to talk progressive, but they govern conservative. With New Democrats, we are always progressive, all the way through. We don't switch one way or the other. The difference is we're willing to ask the richest to pay their fair share. Mr. Trudeau isn't. We want to put in a super wealth tax so that those who have fortunes of over 20 million pay their fair share. Something that could raise as much as $70 billion in revenue, so we invest in services. Mr. Trudeau likes to talk about pharmacare. We want to deliver pharmacare. We want to deliver universal public pharmacare for all. The difference is we don't just say we're going to end fossil fuel subsidies. We're committing to ending them immediately. Mr. Trudeau talked about them and then broke that commitment. And with the Greens, they said they were willing to. The difference is they say they're willing to or open to working with the Conservatives. I've said I've ruled that out entirely. I will not work with the Conservatives because they cut services, and their platform shows it very clearly. They are going to cut healthcare. They're going to cut transit. So there's no way I would support a party that wants to cut all the things that we need. We're standing right here at a transit stop. We need to invest in more transit, not less. Oui, bien sûr. Donc, en fait, la différence, c'est que les libéraux sont des progressistes qui donnent des belles paroles. Nous sommes des progressistes qui donnent des actions concrètes. La différence, c'est qu'on est prêt de s'assurer que les plus riches paient le juste part avec une taxe sur les ultra riches, quelque chose que les libéraux ni les autres partis ont prêt de faire. On est prêt de le faire. On veut pas seulement parler de la crise climatique, on veut annuler tout de suite les subventions pétrolières et on va mettre en œuvre une assurance médicaments universelle et un soin dentaire national.
Robin Gale, Global National News. Just a few weeks ago, there were concerns that you were going to lose party status, but in our recent poll, there's been a surge. What has changed?
We've had a campaign where people have seen themselves reflected in the campaign. Young people see a party that is fighting for them, that's going to fight for them, that's going to stand up for them. Working class people see a party and see a leader and see us as someone who's going to say, you know what? We know that you're hurting right now. We know that you're working hard and you're not getting ahead and you feel like the economy is rigged. We see you and we hear you, and we're going to make sure things are better. We're going to make the richest pay their fair share. We're going to make sure we deliver the services, the healthcare that you need.
A big part of the NDP strategy is likability, but is that enough to sustain a very pivotal role as holding the balance of power should there be a coalition government?
I just missed the beginning part of your question.
Your strategy has been based on likability. Is that enough to sustain a very pivotal and a very important role, given that there could be a coalition government here?
I would just push back a bit and say that our strategy has been about fighting for people. And really what this campaign has been about is that anytime I get a chance, I talk about the stories that I hear from Canadians, people who feel like no one's listening, young people who feel like no one cares about them. We've been making sure that they get the attention and the help they deserve. And so we're speaking to those folks that say, we're giving up, we're losing hope, we don't think that anyone cares about us, we don't think we're ever going to get medication coverage or the investments in healthcare. We're saying to them, you will get it. We're going to fight for you. We're on your side. And I think that's really what people want in a government. They want someone who's going to fight for them and stand up for them. And that's what we're going to deliver as New Democrats.
Hi, Mr. Singh. Janice Dixon, the Globe and Mail.
Hi there.
Mr. Trudeau this morning, good morning, said that this election has been more divisive than 2015. Of course, that election was very divisive also. So I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on that, how you think the two compare.
Well, I could say generally that I believe in people being able to put out their opinions and have differences of opinions. I think that's important. I think that should be done in a way that's respectful and in a way that no one feels fear. And I'm worried about the recent threats to Mr. Trudeau. I think that's wrong, that no leader should feel any sort of threat to their security just because of what they stand for. I think Mr. Trudeau is wrong in what he stands for, but I certainly don't believe he should face any threats because of that. I believe that we should be able to have a healthy discourse, a healthy discussion about politics, which means fighting for people, standing up for people, and making sure they get the help they deserve. In this election, I want folks to know they're not stuck with choosing between the Conservatives and the Liberals. They've got a free choice in this election, and we can do that respectfully. We can do that with hope. We can do that with courage to believe in a brighter future.
There are a couple of people this morning who said that they're undecided. What's your message to the people in this riding who are on the fence?
Well, folks, in this riding, I want to say this is Jack Layton's riding. This is a riding New Democrats elected amazing MPs. With Min-Suk Lee, you'll have someone who's a strong fighter with a proven track record, passionate about climate change and fighting the climate crisis, passionate about social justice and housing. You're going to have someone that's on your side, that's not going to cave in to the powerful and wealthy lobbyists that have pressured Liberals and the Liberal government to change their positions. You're not going to have a Conservative, certainly not in this riding, that's going to cut services. With a New Democrat, you're going to have someone that's on your side. And I want people to dream big. Don't settle for less. If you're looking in this election for someone who's going to fight for you and deliver the things that you need in your life, fighting cell phone companies to make sure your fees are affordable and internet services that are affordable, fighting to make sure that we're tackling the climate crisis, it's us, New Democrats, are going to deliver that. I think they're going to make their way over to you. Sorry. Yeah. Is that okay?
Morning, Mr.
He's going to make his way over.
Singh.
CTV, important guy. Yeah. Everywhere.
Sorry, I'm.
Sorry.
I just have a question. We're in Toronto.
And CP is important too, sorry, of course.
We're in Toronto, and you've spent a lot of time here. A lot of the other leaders have as well. You haven't been to some provinces, Newfoundland, Prince Edward Island, up north. What message do you think that sends to people, to voters in those areas that are not living in vote-rich areas or swing ridings?
I'm sorry that I couldn't make it out to all the places that I wanted to make it out to. Canada is a very big country, and there's lots of places that I wanted to be able to make it out to that I haven't been able to get to. But I want folks to know, no matter where you live, I know that people in this country want better health care. I know they want universal pharmacare and they want better access to dental care. I know that people are struggling with the cost of cell phone and internet services because they're the highest cost in the world. I know that people are seeing governments in Ottawa that have worked really hard to make life easier for the richest, but haven't really made their lives better, and in fact have made their lives worse. I want those folks to know, with New Democrats, we're in it for you. We're fighting for you because we're going to take on those powerful lobbyists. We're going to make sure we really take action on the climate crisis by ending fossil fuel subsidies and investing in clean and renewable energy. We're going to make sure we invest in healthcare that makes your life better. We're going to invest in a pharmacare program that's going to make sure that everyone in our country has access to pharmacare, no matter where you live. Canadians can count on us no matter where they live, and they can count on us to fight for them, not for the rich and powerful.
There's a position that your party has taken that you want to abolish the Senate. That could further erode the voices of those regions in terms of power and influence in Ottawa. How are you going to deliver on those things that you've just said? All of these services, making sure all Canadians are represented, especially if you're going to take away some of that representation if you form government?
Well, the reality is the Senate doesn't really represent people. There are political appointed positions that represent the parties. They represent the Liberal Party, they represent the Conservative Party. They don't represent the people and their interests. They're more interested in being a mouthpiece for the political parties that appointed them. I believe people should have real representation, someone who's going to fight for them. I also believe to give people true representation means making sure that everyone's vote counts. And that's why I believe in proportional representation. I believe in giving power to people. I know that our country would be better run if people had more of a say, not less of a say. I believe our country would have better results if their votes counted more. And that's what I want to make happen.
Bonjour, M. Singh, Christian Noël de Radio-Canada.
Bonjour.
Si on regarde ce matin au Québec, il y a des économistes, des environnementalistes qui disent que...
Je suis tellement désolé, je ne peux pas vous écouter. OK.
So, il y a des économistes et des environnementalistes ce matin qui parlent du projet GNL Québec qui ne pensent pas que ce projet-là aura les retombées économiques et environnementales nécessaires. Pour vous, de votre côté, pour ce qui est du projet GNL Québec, quelles sont vos inquiétudes?
Oui, donc pour le projet au Québec, j'ai déjà dit, mais j'ai dit 3 critères qu'il faut atteindre pour aller de l'avant. Donc les 3 critères, premièrement, c'est l'environnement. Donc c'est l'impact sur l'environnement en général, mais aussi pour atteindre nos cibles pour réduire les émissions de gaz à effet de serre. Donc ça c'est premièrement. Deuxièmement, c'est l'acceptabilité sociale et ça inclut les communautés autochtones et la communauté locale. Et troisièmement, si ça crée des opportunités, les travails locaux pour les communautés. Donc dans ce cas, si ce projet ne satisfait pas ces 3 critères, il ne faut pas aller de l'avant. Et à ce moment, j'ai des grandes inquiétudes par rapport à ces 3 critères. Et donc, je ne suis pas d'accord à cause de le manque de régler ces critères. Yeah, so I've got 3 criteria when it comes to projects. And first and foremost, it's in making sure that the project is in line with environmental concerns. That includes protecting the land and the water and the air and is in satisfying environmental assessments, but also our plan to reduce emissions. So it's got to satisfy that criteria. Secondly, it's got to have the social acceptability, is what we say in French, but make sure that it's something that it's in line with the values of respecting the indigenous communities that might be impacted and local communities. And finally, it's got to be a project that creates jobs in communities, a job creation strategy. If those criteria aren't satisfied, we should not go ahead. And in this case, I've said that it does not satisfy these criteria, and that's why I don't support the project.
Donc, à ce moment-là, pourquoi être en faveur d'un projet de gaz naturel liquéfié en Colombie-Britannique et pas au Québec?
Donc, moi, je pense que pour l'avenir de notre pays, il faut arrêter complètement l'utilisation d'énergie fossile. Et l'avenir de notre pays, l'avenir du planète, c'est un avenir où on n'utilise pas l'énergie fossile, pas du tout. L'avenir, c'est un avenir où on utilise l'énergie renouvelable. Et en Colombie-Britannique, ils ont le plan le plus audacieux pour faire face à la crise climatique et j'appuie ce plan. Et en fait, j'appuie le fait qu'en Colombie-Britannique, il veut s'assurer que tous les projets sont dans leur plan de réduire les émissions de gaz à effet de serre. Donc, la Colombie-Britannique a fait le travail avec un plan audacieux pour réduire les émissions de gaz à effet de serre, un plan le plus audacieux, le plus ambitieux, et j'appuie le plan du gouvernement en Colombie-Britannique. So I believe that the future of our country is a future where we are no longer using any fossil fuel for energy. That is a future for our country. In fact, that's a future for the world. And we need to get to that future. The first step that we can get to that future at the federal level is ending all fossil fuel subsidies. And that's what we will do as a government. When it comes to projects, I've made it clear that the project in Quebec doesn't satisfy the 3 criteria that I've laid out: environmental, social acceptability, and making sure there's local job creation. In BC, I've said very clearly that the BC government has the most ambitious climate action plan in North America. And I support their climate action plan, which is ambitious. And my plan is to, at the federal level, make sure we stop all federal funding and subsidies that go towards the fossil fuels sector, and instead invest that into renewable energy.
Mr. Singh.
Yeah.
This has been a pretty divisive election. This is the most divisive election you've been involved in or seen or read about. The divisiveness of this. People are completely polarized.
Talk about the divisiveness. Okay.
Also, there's levels of hate. There's levels of elements of racism. It's almost an American-style election.
So I would say I think we're pretty far from an American-style election still. I think we're not there, and I think we're proud of. I think we should all be proud of that. Canada is different, and we're proud of that. But we still have a lot of problems. We still have systemic discrimination. We certainly have systemic racism. It applies to Black, Indigenous, and people of color. It applies to many people because of their sexuality, because of their gender, and we've got to tackle those things. We've got to be honest about those barriers that still exist and the fact that we want to tackle them. When it comes to the divisiveness in politics, I believe it's important to make the contrast be known. It's important for people to be able to put forward their ideas and have differing opinions. I want that to be able to be done in a way that's respectful and that's safe, and that no one should feel any risk to their security. Recently, we saw that there was a threat, and it caused an increased security presence for Mr. Trudeau. And while I disagree with Mr. Trudeau's policies, I absolutely think it's wrong that he should be faced with any threat to his security. And we should have climate in Canada where we can have respectful discussions and disagreements. And I'm going to do my best to make sure that that's the type of tone that we strike, where we can disagree, we can be passionate, but we're respectful, and everyone should be able to express their opinions in safety.
Is populist-style politics entering in Canada?
I think that there is a certain style of politics that is built on division, and that's wrong. Politics that divide people simply for the purpose of division and simply to pit one community against another to gain votes is wrong. And we're seeing parties do that. We've seen conservatives use that tactic, using terms of illegal to describe people that are just seeking safety and fleeing persecution. It's wrong to refer to them in an inflammatory way. We've heard remarks about mass migration, which is also inflammatory and wrong. It dehumanizes people. And I want to make sure we always remember these are fellow human beings that are struggling. And we can have an immigration system that balances security and compassion, but we have to do it in a way that doesn't inflame hatred or point the finger and blame Canadians that are coming to our country for a new home and for a new future, and in some way blame them for the problems of housing and healthcare and jobs, when the reason that we're in this situation where we've got precarity is not because of a 12-year-old refugee or a man or a woman that's working hard 12 hours a day in a labor job. It's because governments in Ottawa have chosen to benefit the rich and powerful over families. They've given massive loopholes to the rich so they don't pay their fair share, and that's meant that we're starved when it comes to funding our services. They've given massive exemptions to the richest, and they've made families suffer with lack of services. That's why we're in this position. And we can change that, though. We can change that with better choices. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Merci beaucoup. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're great. It's great to have you beside me. About the energy. Thank you, everybody.